Louis B. Mayer entered the world without privilege, born in the Russian Empire in 1884 and carried as a child into North America by parents seeking safety and survival. He grew up among hardship, learned early to read people rather than books, and discovered that audiences could be understood the way a merchant understands hunger, desire, and fear. He moved through humble work, then into the new business of motion pictures, where ambition was still young enough to be shaped by cunning. Mayer did not simply join Hollywood. He helped design its rules. In 1924, he stood at the center of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the studio that would become one of the strongest empires in American film. To him, stars were not accidents. They were constructions. He believed a studio could build a legend from a face, a voice, a posture, and a story carefully managed from first contract to final headline. Under his control, actors were polished, coached, renamed, dressed, and guarded. Clark Gable, Judy Garland, Spencer Tracy, and Greer Garson became icons in a machine that Mayer imagined as both factory and temple. The machine worked. Audiences adored the glamour. The public saw elegance, romance, and certainty on screen. Mayer saw balance sheets, leverage, and discipline. He protected images the way generals protect territory, and he expected obedience from everyone inside the walls of his world. But the Dream Factory had a hidden cost. Contracts tied performers tightly to the studio. Personal lives were supervised with unsettling reach. Relationships could be encouraged, discouraged, concealed, or displayed depending on what best served the brand. Even clothing and press coverage could become instruments of control. What looked like care from afar often felt like confinement up close. Mayer presented himself as a paternal figure, but many who worked under him experienced a harder reality. He was accused of creating a crushing atmosphere where loyalty mattered more than dignity, and where resistance could damage a career. His opposition to labor unions deepened the conflict, because organized workers threatened the authority that had allowed the studios to rule unchecked. Then the ground shifted. Laws, economics, and audience habits changed. The old studio system weakened, and the power Mayer had relied on began to slip away. In 1951, he was pushed out of MGM, the company he had helped raise into greatness. The departure was more than a personal failure. It marked the collapse of an era. Mayer died in 1957, but his influence did not disappear. He remains a divided figure in film history. Some remember him as the architect of the star system, a man who understood the public's hunger for myth and built a lasting world of entertainment. Others remember the price of that world: control, fear, and the quiet suffering of people turned into assets. Louis B. Mayer shaped Hollywood as he imagined it, and Hollywood became brilliant because of that vision. It also became more ruthless. Behind the light of the screen, his legacy endures as a reminder that the making of dreams can demand a darker kind of power.